GY Sergeant, is that what it says? 67. JK Pioneer, how you doing? First in the chat. Well, I started to chat like, first of all, tell me if you can hear me properly. I mean, am I coming through? So I started to chat, I don't know, 5 minutes ago, and I noticed things weren't working quite right, so I had to restart it. So technically, yes, you're first in this chat. Audio is perfect. So yeah, so how's the video? Somebody was just, who was it? Little Red Pony saying he's got a little video issue, a little choppy on his end. How's everybody else doing on that video aspect? Is it choppy for everybody? The video, yeah. Gunnery, Sergeant 67. Thank you. He says video is jumpy. How bad? How bad? You said video is jumpy. Let me actually open up another window and view my own video as though I was just. That's weird. Maybe I should turn off some of the security measures. Measure. Hopefully that'll help. So JK Pony. But JK, how choppy? Because Gunnery Sergeant saying the video is solid for him. So I'm trying to get on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, how choppy is it, JK? Because I don't want to start hunting for a needle in a haystack if it's just a latency issue on your guys' end. Because if it was on my end, I would assume if it was on my end, everybody would be experiencing the same problem. But the fact that some people are saying it's good and some people are saying it's choppy leads me to believe it ain't the source. Just a hypothesis. I'm getting all scientific today. After watching Joe Biden's speech, what was it, yesterday or the day before? Holy flippin' cow. Just amazed. So let me get on my own. Let me see if I can see my own video. Let me see if I can see myself. Not that I like looking at myself. After watching Joe Biden's speech, what was it, yesterday or the day before? Holy flippin' cow. No big deal. Just amazed. So let me get on my own. Let me see. So there's a few things I'm going to talk about today. Let me see if I can see my own video. First, let me see if I can see myself. What is most important? Not that I like looking at myself. 4-shot latte. After watching Joe Biden's speech, what was it, yesterday or the day before? It's a Saturday, so this is actually my second. No big deal. I was going to go work out, and so let me get on my own. I don't know. Let me see. There's a few things I decided. You know what? I can see my own video. First, let me see if I can see myself. What is most important? Not that I like. So, 4-shot latte. After watching, I try to brighten up the room, the lighting. Joe Biden. I was having some issue with studio lighting. I didn't want to go out and spend big bucks, especially for a small YouTube channel like myself. But I was able to acquire this light right here. So there's a few things I decided, the temperature lighting to 57 Kelvin, 5,700 Kelvin, so I adjusted the lighting. I try to brighten. I got a little bit of lighting there, and I think the lighting's okay. I might have to turn down the big bucks, especially for a small YouTube channel exposure. But I was able to acquire a little bit on the camera, but other than that, because I think the camera's slightly. Let me see if I can adjust it just by turning the lights. I think that. I think that worked actually. Tone down the brightness in the face, the sheen, lighting there, and so that kind of works. Anyway, let's take a look at silver. You're not turned down. You didn't tune in just to especially for a small YouTube channel. Exposure, tighten up the mic. I'm all messed up a little bit on the camera, but other than that, because I think the camera's slightly not like crackhead tweet by turning the lights. What happened is I think that. I don't know what the hell happened. I think that worked. Normally I cannot tone down even on a day off sleep beyond 6. So that kind of works. Anyway, let's take a look at silver. You're not turned down. Somehow I slept relatively solid. I don't sleep very well. I slept relatively solid. Always 7:28. Not like 8. Crackhead tweet. I mean, literally opened up my eyes at 7:28 and I was staring at the hell happened. Normally I guess maybe tone down even on a day off sleep. Let's take a look at silver. I think my body needed it. Somehow I slept relatively solid. I don't sleep. Go to kicko.com if you'd like to follow. Always 7:20. Not like 8. Crackhead tweet. I mean, literally opened up my eyes at 7:28 staring at the hell happened. I guess maybe tone down even on a day off sleep. Let's take a look at silver. I think my body needed it. Somehow I slept relatively solid. I don't kicko.com if you'd like to follow. $18.50. I'm sorry, $18.50 per troy ounce. Gold is down to 1,700 and freight 1,713. 1,713 for troy ounce of gold. And yes, I will be starting that gold program. I save up for gold. I'm sorry. You save up along with me. I'll attempt to buy our gold at the same time. Gold is down to and I made a video of it every week or two. I got online. I had an envelope right up here. And I would put the money into the starting. Eventually, we all had enough to buy our gold. I save up for gold. Pretty cool. You save $18.15 to buy our gold. Another website every week or two. Cryptocurrencies. Kind of looking pretty bad right now. I would put the money into the starting. We'll talk about eventually we all had enough to buy market. Cap.com is who I follow for my Kitco, KITCO for my precious metals, CoinMarket.cap for my cryptocurrency. So Bitcoin is actually up just a smidgen from yesterday. Yesterday was 19,300. I'm rounding numbers. It was like $19,319. Who's counting? Today it's up to $19,800. I'm hoping we're going to start to see cryptocurrencies go up. I would like to sell off some and maybe pay off some of my new Bitcoin is actually that was just my goal. Just want to cash in on my cryptocurrencies to put down on a car payment when the cryptocurrency market was like 19,300. XRP is 33 cents. Today it's up to $19,800. I'm hoping we're going to start to see cryptocurrencies go up. No, it's like down to 45. Sell off Theta and maybe pay off $1.14. That's what I'm waiting to jump over. Just a smidge. $1.14. However, carpet 1 hour with cryptocurrency and the 7 day is actually up. So hopefully that's a trend. And that is a trend. 1 hour, 24 hours, 7 days. So from 7 days ago to 1 hour ago, Theta from 7 days ago to 24 hours ago to now 1 hour ago. It's up. So there's a trend. However, basically, back in 7 days, actually up. So hopefully that's a trend. Anyway, that is a look at 1 hour, 24 hours. The news. 7 days. And I'll from 7 days ago. I normally follow the same one. I talk a little bit about things, and then I go and talk with you folks. 24 hours ago. To now, 1 hour. I don't know if you folks saw my video about student loans and cancellation of student loans. I want to talk a little bit about that in the event that some of you have not. The camera's there, but I'm looking at my face there because my face is right next to your comments, right to the right of it. So I need to do something about that. But anyhow, things, and then I go and talk with you folks. See if I can fix that. I don't know if you folks saw my video about student loans and cancellation of student loans. I want to talk a little bit about that in the event that some of you. In the event that you haven't heard, there, but I'm looking at my face there because my face is right next to your comments. This is not sarcasm. This is not exaggeration. You normally follow the same, but 24 years of slavery. I'm not complaining though. I got myself into that slavery. I willingly applied for a student loan. So I willingly signed the promissory notes that were but I'm looking at my face there. Part of that deal. Right next to this is not sarcasm. This is not exaggeration. 24 weeks ago, I paid off the student loan. 5 weeks ago, who's counting? I even got. I would show it to you, but I even got an email, and it was an animated email. Applied for a student loan. It was animated. I willingly semicircle said congratulations, and then an animated confetti fall like we were all celebrating. 24 weeks. Congratulations on 5 weeks ago student loan. It said. I even got. I would show it. No big deal. But I even got an email, and it was an animated. 2 weeks went by, which was about. Again, 4 weeks ago. I willingly Biden comes out. Congratulations. He's going to forgive. Now, keep in mind the words that they use. He's going to cancel in some speeches, going to forgive in other speeches. Student loans for people making up to X amount of dollars. People who have a debt, 2 weeks went by, a student loan debt of X amount of dollars. Again, 4 weeks ago. And I just paid off my student loan. Comes out. Now, shit, I shouldn't have made that last payment for $3,000 or whatever it was. Going to cancel and let the government. Some speeches going to forgive in other speeches. Student loans for people. I'm against student loan debt, but I shouldn't have paid that payment. A debt to me. I'll tell you why. Student loan debt. Because now that I made the payment and I paid off my own and I just paid off myself, and you included. Now, shit, responsible for I should have made that last payment. They use these fancy words because half the government population is too unintelligent to realize what is. I'm against what really happens with debt. But I shouldn't have paid. Debt is never canceled. The banks will always get theirs in one form of another. Myself, the avenue in which they're getting their monies from has changed. That's the only difference. They use these fancy words. That is the only difference. So I, after paying my own student loan debt off, possibly you after paying your own student loan debt off, or if you chose not to get student loans, regardless, you're now responsible to pay off everybody else's student loan. Now, I'm not really bitching. I'm pretty pissed off because they're using our own money. It's kind of like that movie, what was that movie? Independence Day, where they use our own satellites against us. Remember that part? Oh, they're using our own stuff against us is basically. That's what they're doing with us. They use our own money against us. We pay basically to get our graves dug. We pay for every bad thing that's going on in our government. We pay, not them. We pay for our own destruction, and it's a pretty sad thing, and that's why I don't think I should have paid that. If I would have known they would have been canceling student loan debts in the next 2 weeks, I wouldn't have paid that $3,000. I really wouldn't. now, think about this. Think about this. You're some nincompoop, imbecile, buffoon, wants to go to college. You're going to go there. They're going to talk you into a loan. No, hold on to your cash. Don't pay up front. We got this loan. You don't have to start paying until you finish school or you drop below full time. And who's to say now that they're going to be held accountable for that debt? Because they know what has just happened, right? They know. Oh, shoot, man. 4 years, it'll be election cycle again. Just hold it out. The Liberal Party, we'll just call it that, will want to buy votes because they've screwed up everything for people. And they'll pay off our student loans. So it's just going to go on and on and on is really what it's going to go to. I mean, you paid off student loans one time and got away with it. What's to say it's not going to continually happen? And here's where the problem is. Eventually, everybody will have their student loan debt paid off every 4 years or whatnot. So they'll do away with student loans altogether. The debt will go directly to the government after the government passes a bill saying all education is free of charge. Now, I've talked about this in the past. There's nothing that's free of charge. The teachers are not going to show up for free. The electricity is not going to be turned on for free. The landscaping, the toilets that are in the school are not going to be cleaned for free. Nothing is done for free. That debt, when they say student loans are free, is just spread out throughout the taxpayers is really all it's going to be doing. So it's pretty messed up thing, and it is what it is. Anyway, Biden's speech came across as very Hitler-like, very similar. I couldn't help but noticing when I looked at the screen, everything was this bloody red. It was just, you looked at the screen, it was all bloody red with soldiers on both sides like Hitler, Hi Hitler. And basically, again, it's very little of what he accomplished he was campaigning about, because that's all it was a campaign speech on your tax dollars when it should be the government's tax dollars. When you campaign, it should come out of your campaign coffers. It shouldn't come out of the American taxpayer. But the way they articulate it, we're going to be doing just a speech for the people, an information speech, or, whatever they call those speeches. I forgot, State of the Union. They build it up to where it's a state of the union so they can bill you, the taxpayer. Again, you using your money for their success, but for your debt, for your death as well. So it's basically what it was a campaign speech, and I feel that they need to use their own monies instead of using the taxpayers' money. But regardless, very little of what they accomplished. And what they bragged about accomplishing was pretty much exaggerations. And exaggerations and lies is basically what it was. And but most of their campaigning, why you should vote for them, is because the other side is dangerous. That's the word that keeps coming up. Dangerous. He's dangerous. She's dangerous. That group's dangerous. This group is dangerous. See, it used to be divide and conquer. Divide the Republicans from the Democrats. Boom. Then they take it a step further. They're trying to divide the Republicans now. It's the extreme Republicans versus what they were saying before, the Republicans. So now they're trying to divide the Republican Party into really extreme and dangerous and not so extreme and not so dangerous. It's look at their tactics. Sterling Silver, I'm addicted to meat, so I saw your comment. Yes, I'll be smoking some meat. I think I will be going with I want to do a brisket, but that's like a 28-hour smoke. I might do some ribs. We'll see. I'm going to open up. I got a separate freezer just stacked full of meat. I'll see what I got in there. If not, I'll just run to the store and get something. We'll see. Ribs, I don't know. Anyway, so you'll notice that that no longer in your local campaigns, obviously I'm talking about Biden, but in your local state elections and campaigns and debates, it's no longer about what they have accomplished. It's bad person, homophobe, racist, white supremacist, regardless of what nationality you are. You can be black and you're still labeled a white supremacist now if you disagree with the Democrat Party. You're named every phobe in the world now, and that is their debate tactic. And then they run back to their basement and only appear in front of friendly audiences, hand-picked audiences. Now, the Republican Party, and before you all get mad at me, because I know you all think I'm a Republican, I'm not. I'll do a Joe Biden. I'm not. Let me say that again. I'm not. I'm an independent, conservative. So I don't wear the rose-colored glasses where everything the Republicans do is beautiful. Don't mistake me, but I can distinguish which party is more for the country than the other. The Republicans at least can and do have things they can brag about. Things they are not willing to take this country down the path of. They have something to stand behind. They don't just continually say, bad guy, bad guy, bad guy. It's just a shame. It really is a shame. And lastly, and then I'll start talking to you folks, it's probably in your states and cities too. We have Democrats coming out saying, I have a plan. I have a plan to fix this problem, or I have a plan to fix that problem. And yet they've been in office for like 4, 6, 8, 10 years. Where was your plan throughout your tenure, your career? Why haven't you implemented that plan? All of a sudden you got a plan when it comes to election time? We have a lady here. She just lost a local election, actually. Not an election, the primaries. She came out very recently. She has a 6-point, a Democrat, a 6-point plan for securing the border. That's what she says. I'm not changing words. I'm saying exactly what she says in her campaign. I have a 6-point plan for securing the border. You know how long she's been part of the political party? Never implemented it. And even when she was not in office, didn't share that 6-point plan with any of her Democrat friends. Notice that? But now it's election time. And she's got a 6-point plan. If she had won, you want to know what would happen? And this is just an example, because look at all the politicians, they'll play the same game. I have a plan, or I have a 6-point plan, regardless. Then they get voted into office, and they said, well, I put forward a bill with my 6-point plan, and it was voted down. Knowing very well it's going to be voted down. They throw that out there. It's bait. It's just freaking fake bait. It's a fake worm. You know what I'm talking about? So, even if they were elected, their so-called plans will get voted down by their own colleagues. I got a 6-point plan for securing the border. Protecting your kids from fentanyl. Yeah, that's what I got. Sure. All right, let's say hello to a few people. Let's lighten the mood. Gunnery Sergeant, thank you so much. I got my Army patches up there, by the way. I got a couple of police patches up there from a couple of friends, actually YouTube subscribers who sent me those patches. I stand behind the police, and I have been for most of my adult life, since I was a teenager. I stood behind the police, the sheriff's department, anybody who protects and serves. JK Pioneer, thank you so much. Little Red Pony. Albert H., whose message was retracted. Don't know why. Who else? Everybody's saying the audio and video is perfect now. Coffee. So I have my, God damn, all kinds of dust here. You think maybe I should get in here and clean one of these days? Maybe I should. So I have my own espresso machine. That's not bragging. I saved up. I wanted my own espresso machine. I figured, I was going into some of these coffee houses and I was spending $7 a day minimum, because some days I went in twice a day, maybe on the way to work, maybe once on a break or something at work. So it was getting expensive. And when you add up that kind of money per year, you start to think a little differently. And so I went out and got a really nice Italian espresso machine. You can't even get this one in the stores. They don't sell this caliber in the store. I had to go online and order it. And I make my own coffee. Every now and then I'll go into Dutch Brothers or something like that. Still, just to get something cold and refreshing. But I've been getting a lot of comments requesting, and this is the only reason why I'm bringing this up, requesting I do a video on my espresso machine and showing how to pull a shot and maybe make a latte or something. And I'll do that. I just can't do that in a busy household. Everything's busy and noisy here at certain times, and it's kind of distracting. And you know how I am. I feel like a fool sometimes in front of the camera anyway, and then all this movement around me, it just kind of just throws me off my game. So I'm going to do that. I'll show you how to make a nice pull a shot, actually how to grind, how to calibrate the grinder, how I'll do everything, how to calibrate the shot, your 25 to 30 second pull and whatnot. And I'll show all that, how to do it. And you'll be a barista, so you can go get a minimum wage job and then wait for the government to give you a mandatory minimum wage increase. So one day you'll be making lattes for $50 an hour. And then I'll, like an idiot, come in and buy a $50 latte from you. Not. All right, so Albert H., thank you. Who else is here? All of Albert H.'s messages, he must be some kind of a spam guy. All of his, every one of them. So far, I've gone down 4 of them, and they're retracted. Now, Little Red Pony says there's an echo. Is there anything right, Little Red Pony, in my live stream for you? Is there anything? Is anybody else experiencing an echo? Maybe that was some time ago. I am reading the older messages first. Loot Tech 62. Inconceivable how the sound is bad. Oh, that ouch, there's an echo here. Polo 1. So that's multiple people saying that. Again, I'm looking at the older. I went all the way to the top and working my way down. My voice is coming over 2 times. Is my... Hey, everybody, because when people... when one person says something's bad, When multiple people are saying something bad, I need to check. How is my sound? Can I get... Right now, can you comment how my sound is? Is there an echo? Is it coming over twice? Please help me out by to fix this. Your audio is fine. Sounds perfect. Okay, so those were older comments, and everybody is saying it's fine now. Cool. All right, good. I won't worry about it any longer. So what was I talking about now? Oh, I wasn't talking about nothing. I was talking to you guys. All right, everybody's saying the audio is good. Oh, brother. You know what it is? I know exactly what the problem is sometimes. I got this new GoPro camera, and I'll tell you what, for recording something like at Disneyland or freaking a vacation, they're great. For YouTube, I think they suck. Their color and contrast dynamic range sucks. I just don't like it. If any of you folks have a YouTube channel who are thinking about getting a new camera, don't get a GoPro for your YouTube channel, in my opinion. Maybe I don't know how to use the thing yet, but I know there's a mic built into it. So maybe I need to look into it and learn how to. But see, in my OBS, I'm only showing one microphone, so I don't know what the problem could have been. Times channel, your voice is coming over 2 times. Again, those are older. Let me scroll down a little bit. Beto D, thank you for being here. Michigan Pokey, that's better. Okay, so people are saying it's better. Yeah, Beto, they're not just punishing us for their mistakes, because I don't really think it's that. They're literally having us stand over our own graves and dig our ditches. They don't even do it. They'll use us against each other, too. There'll never be an airstrike, in my opinion, against the people from the government. They're going to divide this nation to where one side is just going to shoot the other side. Or we're seeing the violence on television now. They really believe that they're justified to beat somebody with a baseball bat for pretty much no reason. Or throw somebody in front of a train. You get the point. Or just drive down the street and randomly shoot people that are not their nationalities. So that's being done. Yeah, I think silver's a good investment, Tim's channel. I think it really is. I do believe we're going to see, I honestly believe we're going to see silver shoot up again. I honestly believe that. I would not waste my money on something I didn't believe in. Sterling silver 925, smoked meat. Yes, I've already answered that. I think it's going to be ribs, if not a brisket. But the thing about a brisket, it's a $70, $80 piece of meat. Though, you eat a little bit, you freeze the rest. So it's not like one meal is $70, $80. I'll probably, out of a brisket, I'll probably get about 10 meals out of it. So, but to shell out, $80 in one pop, ouch. Chrome Dome, sup, dude? Thank you so much, Chrome Dome. I appreciate you being here. Yeah, and Little Red Pony, I agree with you here. Silver's always good to have, regardless of whether it shoots to the moon at all. Because when the dollar bill collapses or even falls, you always have a backup monetary system in your home. And that's silver or gold. Silver or gold, for that matter. And I'm going to tell you something about silver or gold, and you've heard me say it 100 times, but I think it's worth saying 101 times. You read the Bible from the very beginning. It mentions silver and gold in it. It has a track record, a longevity, of a historical longevity. I challenge anybody out there to find the dollar bill written in the Bible. Find the stock market written in the Bible. Derivatives written in the Bible? No. Gold and silver is. So that's why I believe firmly in it. I believe when a monetary system crashes or falls, we won't say crash, but we will say falls so far below is its usefulness that people resort to other monetary systems, is what I'm trying to say. And that system is normally gold and silver. Nameless, you think blackouts coming this winter? Well, California there is. They're no longer calling them blackouts, though, because they're trying to protect themselves. They're calling them planned, what is California calling it now? Planned outages, I think they're calling it. And it's so funny because they've convinced everybody to buy an electric car. And I'm not lying. They convinced. I'm coughing. I don't know what it is. It could be the heat. It's. They've convinced everybody in their state. I'm obviously exaggerating, but a good portion of those people have gotten electric cars. They were sold to them basically by the government. This is the greatest thing since sliced bread, since the invention of fire. They went out and got it. Now they're telling the people, I kid you not, on the news, please, due to the electrical grid not handling the heat wave, please don't charge your vehicles. What good is having a vehicle if you can't drive it, or if you don't have fuel or electricity as the source of fuel? So it's bullshit. My opinion is this whole Green New Deal is an investment, a monetary investment on a lot of people who have a lot of money. They are investing in stocks, bonds, you name it. They're investing in solar panels, everything. They make laws that mandate certain green technology. That way you're forced to buy into their investment. Wouldn't it be nice if I can invest in a stupid mug and force you all to buy into this mug? That's what's going on, folks. On a much, much larger scale. They're creating laws and regulations because before they did it, they went out and they bought stocks and they promised companies this and that. That's what's going on. I know I'm dumbing it down, but that's what's going on. They don't give a I was going to use the F word. They don't give a damn about the environment. They don't give a damn about your children or anything like that. When it comes to COVID, they want your children to be shot up because they done invested, and we're going to find out. They've done invested in these pharmaceutical companies heavily. They've invested into the shots and the COVID and everything that is required that they mandated after they secretly invested into it. Not only that, it's a control mechanism. It is a control mechanism. I'm still seeing people wearing a mask, walking alone in the middle of the freaking streets. Not in the middle of the street, on the sidewalk is what I'm trying to say. It's their new American flag. The mask, honestly, is their new American flag. So yes, I do think blackouts are coming in certain states. Esoteric, thank you so much for being back. I really appreciate it. Republicans' buyout price is just a bit higher. I sense that you don't like the Republicans either. Again, I'm neither Democrat nor Republican, but I am not so freaking indoctrinated in one party or the other, where whatever the opposite party is doing is they're bad. And I get the sense from some of you folks that when I get some of these comments, regardless of what the other party is doing, because you're not part of it, they're bad. They're dangerous. They're evil. And that's a really bad situation, because then you got the team mentality. And the team mentality is a really bad thing to have when it has something to do with your life and the condition of which you will live in the future. To be a part of the team. I'm part of the team. And whoever else is not part of the team, bad. I'm telling you, you're not part of the team. You are led to believe you're part of the team, but try knocking on their door when there's a party. Try getting into one of their parties, their dinner functions or something like that. You ain't getting in. Okay? You're not part of the team. You think you are. And I know at this point you think I'm talking down to you. I just want to tell you, you got to stop thinking like the political party is a football or baseball team. It's not. Okay? I see these people, they vote for one, they're freaking Cowboys fans, and everybody else is fucking, there I accidentally cussed, and everybody else is freaking idiots. That's a sorry ass team. That's a sorry ass team. It's only the Dallas Cowboys or the Steelers. I don't play that shit. Whoever's good is good, and that's why I prefer not to be a Democrat or a Republican. But anyhow, Esoteric, thank you so much for being here. Alan Van Cleve, I get up every day and check the market and the news, then look at my wife, Kim, and ask her what the hell kind of cartoon did we wake up in. Yeah, I hear you, man. I get up every morning and wonder what kind of freaking cartoon I'm in also. Not that I'll ever do it, but sometimes the easy way out. Tim's channel, with higher inflation, what is better? Stocks, cryptos, silver, gold? What is the best place to even start investing? With all the higher inflation, the government is going to screw us somehow. So, I'm not a financial analyst. If my opinion was really worth something, I'd have a hell of a lot more money. But for me, I think you can never go wrong with land. Okay? I only keep enough money in the bank to pay my debts, that monthly payment cycle. I only keep enough money in there. And everything else is put into cryptos, silver, or gold. And let's not forget about prepping your food stockpile. That's part of it's an insurance policy, yes, but it's also a monetary insurance policy, because the year's worth of food I got back there, I bought it at yesterday's prices. I say yesterday's metaphorically, because much of those food items are in long-term storage, good for 25 years. So some of that stuff I got 5-10 years ago. You see what I'm saying? I paid those prices when I got them. So food is part of that, should be part of that investment chain that, obviously I get a few guns and whatnot. I'm not telling everybody to go out and run and get a gun and stuff like that. But, little stuff like that, tools, learning how to do stuff yourself is also an investment. It truly is. Because when you don't have to pay some joker to do something wrong, you learn to do it right, and you don't have to pay for it. Tim's channel, thank you so much. I appreciate your time. I'll scroll there. I work for a coffee company. You all are paying too much for coffee. JK Pioneer, would you tell me which are you? Don't tell me where, but if it's a company, I'm sure it's public. It's a public company. Can you tell me which company you have? I love, if you can get me some beans. I go through a freaking pound of beans. I would say, not exaggerating, about a pound a week. I grind it myself and everything. Stevie Thom, thank you for being here. All the way from Northern Ireland. Man, do I love some Irish beer. German and Irish beers. I don't like American beer. But I will get down and dirty when it comes to some Irish beer, German beers. I love that stuff. It's like eating chocolate bars to me. I don't drink too often, but when I do it right. Lighthawk Demon. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen you, Lighthawk. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Boxing MMA 365. Thank you so much for being here. JW, Sir Schmugly. Thank you again. HT, RSP, Supra. Everything is good. You know, it's funny. I saw the word Supra and immediately brought back memories of my 1983 Toyota Supra. It was white. It was all blacked out. You know, the black mirrors, the black trim, everything. And it had the black fin on the back. Oh, I love that car. I love that car. And one day my boss got me so upset. So we had to park in the parking lot, but in front of the parking lot was right where you parked. Instead of cement, there was poles with chains going across. And they were down low. And one day my boss got me so flipping just... I put it into gear. I didn't realize what freaking gear I was in. I went forward and totally... The chain went right across the entire hood, and it was tight, so it kind of just crimped the entire hood flat, where it should have been nice, you know, a nice sporty concave, not concave, but a nice sporty rounded top to it. Oh, I screwed that thing up. I was so pissed off. And then I was even more pissed. Needless to say, I didn't work for him too much longer. He was driving me up a wall. But that was my bad, to do what I did in the car, not him. Who else is here? Everybody's saying I'm loud and clear now, so I'm getting to that section where I asked how's my sound about, 15, 20 minutes ago? $49er, you're another person I haven't seen in a while, and you go back some years. I see the mass lead accelerator is back where it belongs. I don't know what that statement is. Gray Fur, thank you. Takes a lot of silver for the green scheme. The Little Muddy Farm, Robert Jones. Long time no see. Thank you so much. I don't recall your name. The Little Muddy Farm. You must have changed your name or something. I would have remembered that name. Appreciate, there's a select few of decent Republicans. Appreciate your opinion, Esoteric, and I agree with you. Again, no party is perfect. You got a lot of freaking, I won't say a lot, I would say a good third of Republicans are really Democrats in Republican clothing. That's really what's going on. And that's how they infiltrate. And think of that. It's a true statement. You know, what's her name that's been, fudge. What's her name that's been out for freaking Trump? She held the January 6th hearings. What's her name? Her father, I don't know. Anyway, she's an example of that. She's Democrat. She's pure Democrat, wearing the clothing of a Republican is all she is. Protect yourself from the coming blackouts and brownouts by ensuring you have a gasoline propane generator and a couple of 1,000 watt-hour solar generators. Yeah, I wish I had those. They're a lot of money. I can't afford all that stuff. But I do agree with Gunny that you have to have something. For example, as silly as it sounds, the solar garden lights that come on when sun goes down, any one of those, you pull it apart and bring in and put it on your internal, one of your tables in the night, in your house. It will light up the house. Will it light up the house as good as this light? Absolutely not. But you'll have enough light to walk around without bumping into stuff. And you can pull out a few. I have something like 10 around the yard, just the backyard. If I had to pull out 10 of them, I could. You drive a stake in the ground and you put the light bulb on top, and I can always unscrew the part, bring that in, and boom, I got 10 of them around the house, and probably enough light to read. And every day I throw it out, recharge it if I had to. I'm talking emergency purposes. Bring it back in, and I go out there. The light comes on at 6 in the morning. There's times I'll go out there 5 in the morning, let the dog do his thing, and those lights are still bright as can be. So plenty of hours if I needed to bring that in. That's only going to help my lights. But I do have backup systems for heating. I have a lot of heaters, portable heaters that are gas run and whatnot. And I have plenty of gas to fuel them. I think I made a video of those. So there's plenty, like I said, plenty of food, and it is what it is. I got plenty of water filtration systems. I think I have 3 different water filtration systems and whatnot. And, is my preps perfect? Absolutely not. Because in order to be perfection, you have to have a lot of money. I did take a look at generators, and, the one generator I would love to have is a Honda, but that thing's like $1,000, $1,700, depending on the wattage that you want. And I just, wow, it's just, I look at myself and I said, okay, I can spend that, I can get that $1,000 generator or even a $500 generator. And I might need it once every few years. Is it really worth the $500 that I'm spending? You know what I mean? If the power goes out once every 5 years and it's out for maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours, maybe one time for 24 hours. That's never happened since I've been here. I'm just thinking, is it really worth $500 if I really got a cheap generator? And a $500 generator doesn't turn on your fridge or anything. It just gives you enough lights, and maybe it'll run the television or something. If you want to run your fridge and stuff like that, you need to spend bucks. And, higher wattage generators cost higher amounts of money, is what I'm trying to say. So you got to do a user cost analysis for your own purposes, for your own situations. But I agree with Gunny. If you got the money, do it. I would love to get all that stuff. Azure Blue. Hey there, my workout brother. Azure Blue. Okay, so he says, my workout brother. I gotta wonder, is he just saying that because he works out, or do I secretly, or does he know me? We worked out before, because but anyway, Azure Blue, I'm not too worried about it either way. Appreciate you being here. You brought up a good point last time that without money being in the bank, you can't even lose it when buying a house. No, you can't. You can't. I don't keep nothing in the bank. Again, I just keep enough money to pay my bills that are coming up the following month. That's it. I just bought some Platinum Eagles and a couple of 100 silver rounds. Beautiful. Azure Blue. I like silver rounds, and some of the smaller increment silver. I love even looking at dimes, the Mercuries and whatnot. I love those things. And I have plenty of them. Junk silver, I have it all. What else? They force you to buy mainstream products like holding US dollars and buying stocks. Yeah. Then they crash the market. You get out of fear and they pocket. See, one thing I learned in school, what is it? Law of thermodynamics is very much, it really is like money. The law of thermodynamics, and I'm paraphrasing if I can remember, energy can neither be created or destroyed, or something to that effect. So the same with the dollar. When you lose, the dollar doesn't just dissipate, dissolve. Somebody wins. Sorry about that. When people lose money, it just is really transferred, is what it is. Okay? And it follows that same law of dynamics. Okay? So they're good at crashing markets. People, I'm starting to learn with cryptos not to be afraid when it crashes. Just don't even sell. Is my thing. I just hold on to it. I don't sell it. I don't do nothing to it. I will start to learn how to trade maybe. Maybe when it goes up, I'll sell off some of it and buy some U.S. dollar, what they call, it's a crypto. It's called USD. And you just hold that on the side in the event of a crash, and you can use that same USD, which stays stable at $1, even in a market crash, in a crypto market crash. Let me correct myself. In a crypto market crash, that crypto still stays at $1. And you're able to then pounce on some of your other cryptos as they fall below that price, or below the price that you sold out at. So I'm going to try doing that when I get a little extra money, doing some trading. So Stevie, I'm a bourbon drinker too. Like Maker's Mark. I like a few different bourbons. But every now and then, sometimes bourbon scares me. I get a little freaking buzzed. I'll tell you that. 3 or 4 drinks, I have to fight to try to hide that I'm not drunk around my, one day we went out, a bunch of people went out from work. You don't want to act like a fool at work, right? And but I get nervous around people. I do. It's just the way it is. Until I really get to know somebody, I'm nervous. Don't know how to act. I don't know what the hell. Maybe I'm part retarded, maybe. So I'm drinking just to have something to do with my hands, just to calm my nerves down, because people I don't know. And I got up to 3 or 4, and I was just like, ugh. And I'm just trying to hold it still, pretend that everything, that they call it maintaining. I'm trying to maintain my buzz, I did all right. But I still like my German and Irish beers too. But I need them cold. I really do need them cold. I am Negan. Howdy, strange that everything is inflated except silver. It is. Isn't that funny? Little Stray Sheep, thank you. Yo-Yo Overtax. We tax hoes. Yes, we are. Liz Cheney, that's her name. You telling me she's a Republican. You're telling me she's a conservative. She's whatever she needs to be in order to keep her career. Perpetuate. God, sometimes I can't even speak. Perpetuate her career. That's all a lot of these politicians do. They're not campaigning for you. They're campaigning for the big campaign dollars, the corporate dollars. So they're basically telling you what you want to hear, and they're doing what corporations want them to do. That's how it rocks. Yeah, little solar candles, lights, yeah. But I have candles too. What the hell? Mass lead accelerator. Okay, all right. Gotcha. Didn't want to trigger YT. All right, I'm probably going to end this in a few minutes. Read a few more comments. Gregory Thompson, thank you for being here. Westinghouse has a nice dual generator for $1,000. Supposedly can even run central AC fridge. I'm looking for something because I'm in SoCal and temps are 100 plus degrees lately. And another thing, though, something to really think about. Gregory Thompson brings up a good point, as well as gunnery. It's good to have a generator, but when you need a generator, so does everybody else, right? For example, when you need your food stockpile, your neighbors are needing food as well. So when they hear a generator running, you can't run a generator inside your house. Sorry, it ain't going to happen. You're going to freaking kill yourself from monoxide poisoning. They run on gas. Gas is the fuel. Obviously, if it's a solar generator, but you're not getting no solar generator with that kind of capacity, wattage capacity, it's going to run essential AC for $1,000. It ain't happening either. So your cheapest route, power per dollar, wattage per dollar is gas. You're not running that inside. You're running that outside. And guess who's going to hear it? All your neighbors who are going to need AC. I'm sorry. All your neighbors who are going to also need a generator, who are also going to be desperate. And they're going to be coming. That's why I did a cost analysis and a risk assessment. If I needed it, it's going to get stolen. It will get stolen. Obviously, you can chain it down, but there's bolt cutters. You can mitigate it, but you can't You're never going to get rid of the risk. You know what I mean? Now, obviously, you're on land. You got 2 or 3 acres, and your next guy has 2 or 3 acres. You're separated by, some land. He might not hear it, but in most of us, we're living next to people, and it's kind of difficult. Gregory Thompson, thank you. Do I smoke cigars? I have. I even have a humidor. That brown thing is a humidor. Trying to think of what. I haven't smoked a cigar in so long, though, that I forgot what's in there, and I haven't even put any. I haven't even damped in or whatever you call it, the humidifier in there. So, I don't go and buy them anymore. I don't smoke them. I used to smoke 1 cigar per weekend, and I just don't even do that. I'm sure if I get invited to a wedding or something or whatnot, I might partake in a nice cigar with a friend. But other than that, I really don't anymore. And I would always smoke, I forgot the name of the maker. I might even have some still in there that are old and rotted. They call them Toy Stories. You can look them up. Just type in Toy Story. I think that's the name of them. And you'll get the maker. I liked them because they were really small. They were only about 3-inch cigars. When I smoked a full-length cigar, I would get all dizzy and green and sick. And I just didn't, I didn't have that kind of time. Just sit there for freaking 8 hours smoking a cigar either. I got a life. So I like the small, short, I think they call them short stories, not Toy Stories. I apologize. They were called short stories. And they were put out by, gosh, if I can just remember the name. But just something, small. It would take me maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes to smoke. Boom, done. But no longer. Every now and then, maybe. There's got to be a celebratory reason behind it, though. I appreciate the question, though. But that is a humidor. That's what brand is that? That's a Prometheus humidor. I spent something like $450 on that damn thing. Now it's just a box, just sitting there. I'll one day throw out the old cigars that are in there. Esoteric, you're correct. Cryptos have been crashing hard lately. But as I tell you, just like with silver, if you're into cryptos, and I'm not saying you are, treat it like silver. Buy when it's low. If you're not worrying about selling, you should love it when silver crashes. Therefore, you should love it when cryptos crash. Only worry about the price going up when you're ready to cash out. That's my point. That's all I want to say. So I don't do Terra USD. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. But I'm not saying all USD. Don't take me literally. I'm not saying every USD crypto token stays at $1. The one I invest in stays at $1. It sometimes will just sit at 99 cents. 99 point something cents. So don't take me literally so you can slap me around. It's just the way, it's just what I invest in stays stable, very stable. I think it's literally called USD coin. Is what I think it is. Lighthawk Demon, you and Crypto Hulk would get along great. He loves Maker's Mark. So I used to watch Crypto Hulk. I'll tell you what I like about him. I like his personality. I like the information that he provides. What I don't like about him, and the reason why I do not watch him no longer, because he'll want to talk about X, Y, and Z. And unfortunately, his videos are, I kid you not, on average, an hour and a half. And normally he'll talk about XYZ towards the end or get around to it around the hour mark. I don't have that long to sit around and listen to somebody talk about all kinds of fluff before he gets to XYZ. So I just don't watch him no more. Get to the damn point. That's what I would tell him if I saw him. Yogi Bear, buy watches. Stock up on whatever you can, and you will need things when things hit the fan. Just saying. I wish I could afford a solar generator. I wish too. You've seen the prices of those things? No noise, absolutely. In my opinion, you know what they are? They're just a portable battery. It's really all they are. You ever see those batteries that you plug in, get them charged, and then when you're at Disneyland, your phone is dead or dying, you can plug it into your phone? That's pretty much what it is. It's just a big one. Yeah, flashlights are good. Are good prep, and many of the nice ones have what they call moonlight mode, meaning that it will light this room up. You won't have a bright light, but that moonlight mode on one little battery will last easily a week. And you can probably read by it. Where is my battery? Where? Here's one right here. This little thing. It has a diffuser on it, the white diffuser. And my favorite brand is Phoenix. That's my brand of choice, Phoenix. See if it'll focus. Yeah, this is just a rubber band, so I can attach it to something if I need to. But that's what I do with this. This has it used to have a, but yeah, it has a moonlight mode on it. You see that? And this thing will stay lit. Now keep in mind, when do you need a flashlight? At nighttime. Nighttime only lasts about 10 hours for most of us. Really, it doesn't even last that because we're sleeping most of the time. So when do we need a light at nighttime? When we're awake during nighttime. But this will stay lit, just like this, for easily 7 days if you use it sparingly. No, not even sparingly. I can probably use this for 6 hours a night, easily. For easily 7, 8, maybe even 10 days, and it'll still work. And it has various modes. This thing is bright. And really what this is intended for is to hang from a tent. You can hang it from anything. This bottom is magnetic, so you can stick it to the side of anything, a refrigerator or anything. I have about 5 different Phoenix lights, Phoenix flashlights. Phoenix with an F, F-E-N-I-X is my favorite one, my favorite brand. I think they actually went out of business though. But I have about 5, 6 different various lights that are basically for different purposes. Some are for handguns. Some of them can be attached to a short, close combat weapon. I have some of that, but yeah, flashlights. Yeah, matter cannot be destroyed. Did I say that wrong? I am Negan. Well, at least you know I'm semi-educated. But energy, I think it was energy. We were talking about the law of thermodynamics. I'll have to Google that. But maybe you're right. Who am I to argue? Matter. But what is matter? It's, is matter also energy? I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Yeah, Beto, there ain't gonna be no break-ins in my house. There'll be a break-in, but there'll be a runaway after he's get his ass filled with lead. I sleep with a Sig Sauer 40 cal, and it's loaded. That's right, Arturo Fuente short stories. You like the Hemingways. I like the short stories. Mojave Stalker, hello everyone. Are you ready for energy rationing? Oh, speaking of, Devin, speaking of lithium batteries and flashlights, I went on Amazon and I bought a freaking big package. There's got to be 50 lithium batteries in there. So even if this didn't last as long as I'm claiming it does, I got 50 freaking batteries, lithium batteries, energizers in the garage. Even my AOTTP. I don't want to break anything. Even my AOTTP runs on lithium. The AOTTP close quarter scope. I have my rifle, my long range rifle. Even that has illuminated reticles, and that runs on what does that run on? I think that runs on lithium as well. No, I think that runs on that round little tiny thing, if I recall. That runs on lithium right here, and my scope runs on. I'll have to freaking look at that. The thing lasts so long, I haven't had to change it. But I think it's one of the small round batteries. You know, the flat little 2295s, you know, those batteries. Yeah, Arturo Fuentes, love them when I smoke. King Doc, what's happening, man? Been watching you for years under my old channel. John Sinimi, I remember that name. Now you're King Doc, alias King Doc. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, batteries are a good buy. Would it be wise to store cigars and cigarettes for bartering? No, I wouldn't say cigars. Maybe cigarettes, yeah. A lot of people smoke. But some cheap whiskey as well. I kid you not. When people have an addiction, and let's face it, cigarettes and the people who drink consistently, that's an addiction. Though you can make a hell of a deal off of somebody with an addiction. So my thing, I don't really need it. I don't store it as for bartering purposes. But if I were to pick two, it'd be some cheap, no-name brand whiskey and some cheap cigarettes. For bartering, I chose to get small 1/10 ounce silver rounds. Generic silver rounds. Pure silver, 0.999 silver rounds. That's my bartering mechanism. The only downfall with silver for bartering is the amount of people who don't know what silver is. So there's my downfall. See, nobody's prep is perfect, right? Including me. Nobody's prep is perfect. So it's funny, Azure Blue. Everyone here should have 1,000 rolls of toilet paper. I have 1 year's worth, and I literally calculated how much this house goes through in toilet paper per week. And I made sure I had about a year's worth. And I do. I have a little bit over a year's. I'm just rounding it back down to a year's worth of TP. And every now and then, when we go through a pack, buy another pack, put it in the back. Meaning that I rotate that as well as I rotate my food. So you're using up the older stuff first, right? That would suck if you're doing a wipe and your bunch of, I'm going to get gross here. It would suck if and you know where I'm going with this, right? You know where I'm going with this. It'd suck if use some old TP that, you didn't rotate out, and you freaking go for a wipe and it just basically broke apart in your hands. It just, like old paper. You scooped out your poop with your fingers. All right. YouTube can shut me down now. I do go there. Yep.
sometimes I don't have a filter, and that's part of who I am. We all have our flaws, and that's, I have flaws too. I'm not perfect. Only Jesus is. Lord Henry, thank you. Yeah, the CR123s is what I have for my lithiums. And that's what's in there. There's two CR123s in there. And then I have a package of CR123s. There's like 50 of them. I got them on Amazon. They were shipped here. Bow hunting. I wanted to buy a bow one time. Went out. There's a place here in Tucson. And the bow I liked, because I tried a few of them. Oh my God. They're so nice. $900. That was not a ultra high end one. That was a medium one. Because there's a lot that goes into bows, buying a bow. And your cheaper ones, as you pull back, they creak and they make little noises. Animals, they can hear all that. The wheels creaking as you're pulling back. And the higher end ones are just silent. They're just freaking silent. But cost analysis, I said no. Couldn't afford it. One day I would love to own a nice bow. But yeah, anything you could trade in jailbait OD, you can probably trade in the open market here if shit hit the fan. If you live near a military base, bartering cigarettes and alcohol would make you rich in a trade. It's true. And again, don't even waste your time on cigars. That's stupid. Does TP go back? No, but paper is paper. You ever pick up an old book, Gregory Thompson? You ever pick up an old book and the paper's turned yellow? Well, yellow paper eventually degrades even worse, where you eventually would flip the page and the page would fall apart. TP's no different. Paper is paper and acts like paper and will degrade like paper over time. Have I ever had a roll of toilet paper that dissolved, basically broke apart in my hand? No, but I don't want to chance it. I rotate everything. If I have a stockpile of anything, the new stuff goes behind the old stuff. It's just common sense. Even its freaking ravioli. The new stuff goes behind the old stuff. Food, medicine, ammo, be your first barter items. Yeah, if you get yourself some penicillin, I kid you not. You know what you do? And I did it recently. However, I had to consume it. I went to my doctor. I said, listen, I have this cough. And I did. I do have a cough. It's gotten a lot better now. The humidity, I think, is what's driving it. And I go, can you give me some antibiotics? And he gave me a Z-Pack and something else. All you guys need to do is go to your doctor, say, I have this cough, or I'm having, been runny nose. Can you give me a Z-Pack? He'll probably, because it's not related to pain, he'll probably call you in a prescription. You take that Z-Pack, you throw it in a seal-a-meal bag. The little things the machines that suck air out. You throw the entire package in one of those bags, suck the air out. That way there's no oxygen in there. It'll last even longer. And you throw it in part of your stockpile. And then you get your wife to go do the same thing. Oh, I got it from my husband. Can you get me a Z-Pack? Some of these doctors will do it. My doctor's very good. He says, well, I can't do it over the phone because I called, and his nurse practitioner answers the phone for him. Hey, I need this. Can you call it in to my prescription? To my pharmacy. She goes, first the doctor needs to see you and talk about what's going on. And he did. He sat me down, what's going on, and I explained it, and he basically ascertained, okay, yeah, I think after he checked whatever the freaking, whatever that scope is, I forget the name. He checked my lungs and everything. Oh, yeah, okay. So they're pretty good. I was there for 15 minutes, and by the time I got out, in about a half an hour later, my pharmacy called, hey, your prescription's ready. Boom. So, yeah, you can get stuff and add it to your stockpile, is what I'm trying to say. So baby wipes are normally Beto D. Baby wipes are good. However, baby wipes are moisturized. And the canister, even if they're not open, will dry out over time. So you wind up with just freaking expensive toilet paper. I would worry about, if I was to start prepping again, the first thing I would worry about, what is the fundamental thing a human being needs? Before even food, it's water. Okay? A human body can go longer without food than water. So what am I saying? Get your water filtration systems. Regardless of what your style is or what your preference is, get it. I got redundancy. I got the Berkey. I forgot the name brand, but it's a high name brand that I can put in my backpack if I need a bug out. I'm going to buy a 3 or 5 stage reverse osmosis. So I get a little redundancy, obviously. The Berkey is nice. It's expensive, but over time it pays for itself. Yeah, Azure Blue, I would love to move to Florida. I would love to get away from the life I'm currently in right now. But it is what it is. Life never goes exactly as it's written down on paper, right? You make a plan and put it all on paper. Does those finances ever go right? Never. So one day I'll move and I'll get to fishing again and just enjoying life. I will. I'm relentless when it comes to my goals and my dreams. I had a friend, we were talking about this. And that doesn't mean you're going to get everything you want. I think you will. It's just if the timing's right. But one day. I love Florida fishing. I used to live in the Tampa Bay area, actually Largo, Florida. I live in Tarpon Springs. I lived that whole region, Tarpon Springs, Clearwater, Largo, St. Pete. And fishing in Tampa Bay was just amazing. I used to love it. I'll have to check out how to make penicillin. But did your direction come with a dosage, an approximate dosage? Because you have to dosage that, right? You can't just give somebody a bunch of penicillin and not know what kind of dosage they're taking. So hopefully your directions say, hey, this recipe will have approximately so many milligrams of this. And not every penicillin will cure everything, right? So your recipe, what did it say? What is it for? What is some of the ailment? What is it good for? What is it really not good for? So, Gregory Thompson, no more heart problems for me. As a matter of fact, I'm hitting the gym harder than I ever have. My squat is stronger than I've ever had. The only thing, and I think it's due to my cardio. I hate doing cardio. So I get out of breath a little easier when doing like squats. But I started doing cardio about a month ago, and my squats have actually improved now. Because when I would squat, before my legs would get exhausted is when you would put the bar back down, right? Makes sense. You're lifting something, that body part gets tired, you put the bar back down. But for me, when I do squats, I was getting out of breath before my legs would get exhausted. So now I started doing cardio, and now I can go further. I can actually lift higher reps until my legs get exhausted. That's what we want when we work out. And so it hasn't improved, is what I'm trying to say. So no heart problems. And as a matter of fact, the doctor, what is that damn thing, called? I don't know a lot today, it seems like. Sonogram. Yeah, they all not only check pregnancies with a sonogram, they also check damage to a heart with a sonogram. So after my 4 heart attacks, minor heart attacks, I got to add that in. They took a sonogram about a couple months after checkup, basically, during a checkup. They actually checked everything from the side of the head all the way down to my heart. They could not believe what they saw. 0 damage to my heart. They just could not believe it. So something weird happened during that heart attack. I had 4 heart attacks in 1 week. I went to TMC here, which is a hospital. It's a university hospital. And basically they had me sitting in a freaking emergency room for 6 hours where I finally left. I got fed up, I left. They didn't give a fuck about me. The next day or two, or that weekend, I drove all the way up to 4.5 hours away to my second home, which I sold since then. But at the time I had a second home up there. You probably can look up older videos and see it because they're here on YouTube. I drove 4.5 hours and walked into the hospital. After checking me out, and I think after you have a heart attack, you emit some kind of hormone. There's a hormone that gets excreted when you have a heart attack. My body was flooded with them. I forgot the name of the test. They looked at me after checking the blockage. They says, we cannot believe, not only were you able to drive here 4.5 hours, that you actually were able to walk into the emergency room. That's what they told me. They immediately got me undressed, put on a freaking robe, and within an hour or two, they were sticking a stent in this side of my chest. I got a stent, 1 stent. They said it was like 95% blocked. They just could not believe the human body was able to walk into the hospital. Forget me, anybody, was able to walk in, and let alone drive, So they were sure there was some damage. So there was one, God blessed me in that physical feat, or I don't know what you would want to call it. Physically gave me the energy to drive up 4.5 hours, and physically gave me the energy to walk from my car into the emergency room there. But then, a month or 2 or 3 later, when they were doing my checkup, 0 damage to my heart. 0. They just were like, what the hell? They looked at me, what the hell are you made out of? No damage. So I'm blessed, and I thank God every day that I can. I thank God. Because it wasn't me, it was him. So Gregory Thompson, no more heart problems. Thank you for remembering those times. I even did a video from the emergency room. I'm from my bed. That was about that video. I think is still up on YouTube, and that was about 20 minutes before they rolled me in to get the stent put in. So any heart problems I have now are my own doing. They're not really heart problems. They're just I need to start running. I need to start walking more and start eating better. That's all. I just need to do cardio. I hate cardio. Fucking hate it. Yeah, Lighthawk, you're going to love that Berkey. The water tastes perfect. And everybody keeps saying, well, there's zero water filtration system. There's 0 chemicals in there. 0 any particles in there. 0. It's 0. And it's true. I think it does filter out the water better than a Berkey. But you got to ask yourself, at what point are you drinking distilled water? Now, granted, distilled water is the evaporation of water and the accumulation of the moisture, recollecting the moisture. I understand what distilled water is. It's void of all particulates. But when you start zeroing out every little molecule from water, are we really drinking distilled water? And drinking distilled water is not good for the human body. So not everything that's in water is bad. There's going to be some particulates in water. And they keep comparing the Berkey to the zero filtration system. Yeah, the zero filtration system is better when it comes to filtering. But one has to wonder, first of all, a lot more expensive too. The filters for the zero, I think you have to change out every 30 days. My filters last, I think, 2 years. Drinking from it every day, multiple times. They last 2 years. So at what point are you filtering your water? And are we creating something that's actually worse? Because you really shouldn't be drinking distilled water. At least not for any extended period of time. So, Lighthawk, if you can, get one. I think they sell even smaller versions. Berkey, you don't have to get their biggest and best. I can tell you their smallest Berkey will filter out just as good as their most expensive Berkey. The only thing different is the water capacity. That's it. The same filters and everything. So, just letting you know. Do you live near an Air Force? Yes, I do. Here in Tucson, we have an Air Force base. Did I take the shot? In order to keep my job, I did take the shot. However, I took the Johnson & Johnson. I only took one and never took, because Johnson & Johnson did not come out with a booster. I had an excuse not to take a booster. So the Johnson & Johnson, by the way, has had almost zero complaints about that shot. I'm not saying they didn't have any, but almost zero complaints about it. It was not derived from baby cells, where the other two were. The Moderna and the Pfizer were derived from baby stem cells. Johnson & Johnson was not. So I said, okay, I'll take it. But no boosters or anything. And I still think I had COVID like two times. But to me, having COVID was like a kiss from God. What is that? It's natural immunity. I don't mind catching COVID. No more than I mind catching the cold or the flu. Do I like the cold or the flu? No. But it is what it is. Lone Wolf's guy. Wolf SLV. I'm sorry. How expensive are they? So I only buy physical, and you're buying physical as well, but I won't buy paper silver, stocks and silver. I don't buy in stocks and silver mines or anything like that. If you don't own it, you don't hold it, you don't own it, pretty much. Just the way it is. And paper is just a promissory note. A stock is just a promissory note. That's all it is. Call it what you want. It's just a promissory note. I got some silver all the way in the top of that shadow box up there. My safe is loaded with silver, and gold for that matter. So yeah, the intervals are good. Walking and jogging. But right now I'm forced John Elfoff to do my cardio indoors because it's, I kid you not, 105 out right now. That's freaking hot, buddy. So again, esoteric. I took one shot. I was allowed the choice. I went with the Johnson & Johnson. Again, the Johnson was not formulated with baby cells, whatever they call it, spine cells, where the other two were. And no, I was not scared of COVID. To me, it was just a different form of the flu or the cold. That's how it felt with me, with the exception that I was extremely tired. That's the only additional symptom I experienced when I had COVID. I don't think it was as dangerous as the news media outlets led us to believe, with the exception as if you had a second comorbidity. Then it was, but then again, so is the flu, right? You catch a flu and you're sick, you're dire sickness from another ailment. Yeah, the flu is going to kill you. They don't tell you that, do they? So no, COVID, no, oh my God. No, I don't think COVID was nearly as bad as they played us for. I think, again, I said this, and you take a look at my older videos from 2020, when COVID first came out, I said there's something fishy about this. And I was right. It turned out I was right. They walked into what amounted to a McDonald's, say, I'm going to take a number 2. I need it delivered by X, and I need it spread throughout the population by X date, and that's what happened. I believe they formulated this and used it to take control of free citizens throughout the world, and then to steal elections throughout the world. That's what and to get wealthy, because you can rest assured if they're releasing something into the population, they've already invested in what? The cure. Which we both know, which we all know was not really a cure. Basically, they invest in the pharmaceuticals, right? They release this into the air, or whatever the hell I'm actually simplifying. They released it however they released it. Everybody gets scared because of the news. They go out and invest in and get this shot, which the government says was for free. And again, what is free? Taxpayers will eventually pay for it. They've already invested in it. Government's already bought in stocks and all kinds of stuff. That's why they're pushing it to this day. No, you still need to get the shot. No, you must get the shot. You must get the shot. That's what's going on. No, I'm not selling Dom C. I'm not selling any of my silver. Anyway, folks, how long have I been going on? I've been ranting how long? I've been ranting a long time. This page used to show my time. It's no longer showing it. Oh, there it is. 1 hour and 38 minutes I've been yakking? Shit. Anyway, folks, I'm going to let y'all go. This is a Saturday. You shouldn't be listening to me for no freaking hour and a half. Have a great day. I'm out. And please, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Click the little bell icon. It'll let you know every time I put out a live stream or another video for that matter. Take care of yourselves, and please get out and go have yourself a good weekend.